This is now the third event that we've had called a Dakotafire Café. And the idea is, we're taking off the cafes that we all have in our little small towns where people get together and they have discussions, and a lot of these are the old guys and they'll solve the whole world's problems while they're sitting around there. And the reason that we are doing this as a magazine is because, without something to happen afterward, we could write all the cool stories in the world and they would still end up just being stories on a page. So trying to reach our goal, which is sparking rural revival one story at a time, happens after we write stories. So this is kind of what we're trying to do.
In America that says we feed the world, and yet we have something like 1/3 of our population living below the poverty line. It's a remarkable imbalance, kind of between a disparity between our vision of our society and where we actually are. The data that I put in the article really shows that farming has had some really big ups and downs in the last 40 years. What I'd say very quickly about that is that farming has become a very incredible way to take wealth out of this region of the country and to give it to the metropolitan areas of the United States. And the longer that continues, the less likely it is that farming will be sustainable. And then the less likely farming is sustainable, the less likely our communities will be sustainable. What can be done in eastern Dakotas to try to put the infrastructure together that made it easier and more efficient for us to trade food from your farms, those of you who brought farm products here today to sell, from your farms to local consumers. How do we make that happen here? And I think that's going to be decades of conversation through Dakotafire as you move forward in that. And if I can help you out, let me know. Thank you.
And the next step was where we get to take some action here. And it's conversation first, but maybe some action will follow. You can learn from one another is the goal, okay? So we're doing this around each table, and we're going to do 3 rounds, okay? So we get 1 question on the first round, we have a little conversation, and then 1 person stays and everyone else moves around, and we talk about the next question. And then the same thing happens. 1 person stays and everyone else moves around for the 3rd question.
The last one we came up with was teaching our children about the food, because we feel like all the other things that we discussed relate back to having to knowledge and educate younger people that will have a better understanding.
Some of the fighters may be coming to the farm and helping to plant, weed, grow, and learn about these things. And maybe, when the produce starts coming on, then they can come out and pick and take that stuff home with them. Just so they kind of learn about it and they have a way to grow food. There's a lot of people that don't have the land in which to do that.
Is there any way that Dakotafire can be part of that? There's some story idea you'd want us to do, more things that we want to cover to raise, because it's kind of an interesting voice that we have. We connect the whole rural area,
Check DakotaFireCafe.com for more information. Dakotafire, we're sparking rural revival, one story at a time.